bit sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or no reasons at all. And sometimes, even though we've done 130 episodes, I still fucking stumble.
I mean, it's a mouthful. I give you that.
It is a mouthful.
Yes.
We'd like to highlight our glorious outfits today.
I think
so I'm just going to stand up and show mine.
I think that's very necessary.
This is Jess.
This is who we always talk about, Jess.
This is our Jess.
And this is our drip. Wait, can you see it?
Yeah.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
We surprised them today. These are our producers, the loves of our lives, the second part of our hearts, our sweet little baby angels, our everything.
Wow. How do I
know.
follow that?
I don't know.
I'm like, yeah.
Ditto.
Retweet.
And so we literally had these glorious shirts made.
Yes.
And then we came in jackets because it's negative 14 degrees outside anyway.
Yes.
And we were like, what do you guys think about these shirts? Do they look weird? And
yeah.
they loved them.
I think it's hilarious too because Jess knows I'm hot natured and she's like, you guys look cute, but looked at me like, why the fuck do you have a jacket on?
We were so zipped up.
Like all the way to the brim. Because I mean, like, this is a lot. It's a lot of Drew. For those of you who don't know, he is like, what, 7'2"? How tall is he?
Like 6'7"?
Something. He's much
tall.
taller tall than us.
Yeah.
Yes. Like
Tall drink of water.
3 yard gnomes taller than us, probably.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know.
Our company Christmas party is tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's obviously just me, Heather, Drew and Jess.
It's a company.
Yeah.
A company outing.
Yes.
It's our first outing.
It's our first little Christmas thing.
Our first little Christmas.
That's really great. It's gonna be so cute.
Yes.
We're
so
excited.
We are very excited.
We just want to celebrate our favorite people because without them, we wouldn't be nothing.
I know. I think we need to like. I'm gonna have to try to focus because it's my story today, and I have Jess's like Rhythm Nation, like, like hold
ready
it, like
to drop.
I mean,
Ready to do it.
her '90s angsty album. Like she opened up for Avril Lavigne.
Oh, she did. She did. Yes.
She just fist pumps. So
yes, she's the whatever you call him,
skater boy.
No, she's definitely a dancer on that for sure.
Yes.
Well, the only thing I see of Drew is him with mud all over his face eating like a turkey leg that's the size of this chair.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll be staring at. I'll just look like I'm staring at your left tit, but really it's just Drew gnawing on a turkey leg.
Yeah. As you say. Yeah. So it's just another day. Just staring at my left one.
Yeah, you're right. I usually prefer the right.
It is bigger. You said that, I'm like, oh, yeah.
I get that.
I do too.
Glorious.
I know. You know what else is not glorious?
What?
My story.
Well, they never are like
I know, but
feel goods.
it's not, they don't feel good, but this one really doesn't. Like, I have to say a line that's like, feel free to skip right here.
Oh.
Yeah. So trigger warning for everything. Should I just jump right in?
I feel like this is a swimming pool and it's a hot summer day.
That is your dramatic way of saying yes.
Let's do it.
And it's not hot out. It's like 20.
It's so cold.
I know.
It's like stupid cold.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even point out our background.
It's me. I ordered the dang frame like the second we realized the size. I literally ordered it the day that awesome, beautiful wall went up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just never printed the fucking poster.
Yeah.
Life's busy. Like, I don't know.
Man's busy.
Fucking shit.
Yes.
I don't know what day it is in the world that you're listening to this, but it's December 5th for us, which means balls to the wall, fucking trying to make shit jolly.
20 days to Santa Town.
Yes.
20 days.
And it's just, it's time. It's the end of the year. People are acting like shit's important when it's not.
I know. I saw that meme where it's like on, what's that bird movie with Sandra Bullock? Birdcage. Bird. What is it?
I don't know. I keep looking at Jess and she's not telling me.
Bird. Texas.
Bird eye. Blind bird.
Bird's eye. Bird's eye view. Anyway, Sandy Bowles on Netflix. This is great. Well, anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Who fucking cares? Anyway.
No, now I have to know.
Well, because it says me, if anybody sends me an email after Thanksgiving till the 1st, and it's her like with her blinders on.
Bird box?
Bird box.
There we go.
The one word.
Poor Jess over there. Bird box.
She's like this.
Bird
She
box.
was over there voguing. Bird box. Anyway.
And see, this is why her face is on our shirt.
We need everybody to know who we're talking about.
Yeah, now they know.
Yeah.
We're really just here to
I don't know why I'm
educate.
talking about that fucking movie. I've never even seen that. So anyway.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's a good movie.
She just wears
Nope.
blindfold the whole time?
Nope.
Oh.
The whole concept is that there's some kind of entity that if they see it, they'll kill themselves. So everyone has to, like, if you're outside of your house and even if you looked out a window and you saw the fucking air look a little bit different, like you would then go into the kitchen and stab yourself in the face. Yeah. So everyone had to be blindfolded when they were outside of the house and go by touch because they couldn't look outside.
Okay.
It's really good. And Sandra Bullock's the shit.
I mean, yeah, she really is.
Yeah,
Timeless
she's the tits.
classic. She's the tits. What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It was very similar. Okay, back to this.
I'm ready.
Now that I derailed us with bird bones or whatever. Box.
Oh my God.
I quit. Okay. So,
I wish you would.
right. Bye. This is the story of the murder of Kristy Bamu. Now, this was overseas, so it could be Bamu or Bamu.
I hate myself so much. I was like, that name looks familiar. And I'm like, that's because it's on the Excel sheet of our schedule.
You saw it
I was
on
like,
the
I know
schedule?
that name.
You're like, I totally know this. So you just sit there like this and yawn the whole time. You're like, I know
I was
every
like, no,
part of
I
it.
actually.
No.
Nope. Just
So
saw
I'm
it on
gonna
the
say
Excel
Bamu. My sources today: an article on the BBC.com, theguardian.com, YouTube channel. I had to look it up because I had to know how to say all their names, so I had to look it up on YouTube. Channel 4 News in the UK. And there are a few podcasts, but the one I found most consistent with the information was called Gruesome Horrific True Crime with Connie and Meg. Now, I looked up Christmas true crime stories and came across this one. Just
Oh, it's a Christmas true crime?
Yes. Not a happy yay, but yeah.
Heather, will you stop acting like whenever I react excited that I think that you're about to tell me the story of fucking Santa Claus?
That's true.
You twat.
Okay. Trigger warning, though, for everything. Child abuse, torture. Like I said, none of them are good, but I wanted to put that in there.
Thank you.
There you go. Wanted to warn you, and so you can skip. So here we go. Magali Bamu was born on February 21st, 1983 to Pierre and Jacqueline Bamu in the
Dominican Republic?
No, the Democratic
Oh,
Republic. My brain wanted to say that, though. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is in Central Africa. And after all that was said and done, she ended up having 5 other siblings as well. They moved to Paris shortly after that, and Pierre started a furniture building business there. And there's some timeline confusion and questions that are going to be left unanswered. So just keep that in mind that you can ask me, but I may not know.
okay.
And her parents want to continue to grow that business, so they moved back to the DRC for a bit, to the Dominican Republic of the Congo, which is a mouthful, which is why I changed it to DRC.
Wonderful.
For a bit. But they, for some reason, left Magali when she was about 13 to live with her cousin Phoebe and her husband Ferdinand there. So they moved back, left her.
Just that one? Just that kid?
Just her. Yep.
She had 5? They had 5?
But 6 total. She was 1.
And they just were like,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah. Apparently Magali was treated like complete garbage by them while she was there. So not a good living situation. Abuse, basically being their slave, unwanted. So they didn't realize they left her in a pretty bad situation.
Ugh.
And sometime along the way, like in her late teens, she met a football coach named Eric Bakubi. And he was the same age as her, a few months older. And at first she was like, oh, he's going to take care of me. I found a partner. Like, this is true love, blah, blah, blah. And because her parents had left her and she was in a she thought like he was going to save her from all that.
Yeah.
Sadly, Eric became abusive and possessive. Yeah, he told her when, like literally anything, who she could talk to, what clothes to wear. He wouldn't let her wear makeup. He isolated her from everything. Eric had a bad upbringing as well, and he was randomly also from the Dominican.
The DRC?
Yes, the DRC.
Perf.
Yes. His dad raised him on his own, and his mom passed away when she was giving birth to him.
Aw.
Yeah, Eric's dad was apparently obsessed with what's called Kindoki, which is common in the DRC, as well as the Congolese immigrants to Europe. So Kindoki is the belief in witchcraft or possession by evil spirits and is often used to describe accusations of witchcraft in children. So took a little bit of a turn. Like things like children, when they would like wet their pants, bite their nails, anything like that could be signs of possession. If their family had hardships,
my gosh.
Yeah. And if their family had hardships, sometimes they would abandon them or try to perform exorcisms.
So, like, if I was a kid and I peed in the bed, they'd be like, you were possessed?
If they peed in the
or
bed,
you're going to be a serial killer?
Or if they were having misfortune at the same time as that, they could look
That's
at that
so
as being,
crazy.
yeah, it's evolved to that. Not all of it is.
Obviously,
Yeah, but like for the most part, that's the core belief is what
Is blaming your kids for your misfortune almost. Oh, that's...
and literally abandoning them. Like if
What are they? They're not a stray cat.
I know.
And even then, don't do that.
A lot of times they did often perform those exorcisms though. So put a big old foreshadowing pin in that.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, Eric's dad taught him everything about that. He was obsessed with it. He raised Eric to be obsessed with it. He taught him the signs of possession, how to perform the exorcisms and shit like that. And oh, by the way, whenever his dad was telling him all this, he was 7. So he got him obsessed with this while he was a child. Yeah. He and his dad fled the DRC to London, and then their obsession grew with Kindoki, like while they were in London.
Kindoki, is there a board game that sounds like Kindoki?
Jumanji. No, I don't know.
I feel like there's a board game that I can't stop thinking that sounds like
Sudoku.
Yeah, there it is. Okay,
Isn't
so we're
that
not
like
talking
number, like smart people game?
Sudoku,
right? I think that's like I don't know.
I don't want people to think we're dumb.
And that ship sailed.
We're showing them.
I can't. I had to shorten the Democratic to the DRC so I could fucking say it.
It's a puzzle game.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Smart people.
Right. And okay, cut to this continuing, like his obsession with this into Eric's obsession with this into adulthood. And when he and Magali were together, he said evil spirits were out to get him, but for some reason she stayed with him. So he kept saying he saw things, he heard things, like he thought his brother was possessed, trying to kill him. Like it took over his life, and she stayed with him. He even made them move apartments a few times because he was running from his evil brother. So, like, he'd be like, oh, he knows where we live. We have to move. Like, it sounds like a pretty good setup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds safe.
So, he proposed.
I just put my arm across the shirt and it crinkled so loudly.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like we're wearing, like, windsuits.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So, Eric proposed to Magali in 2010. And all this weird shit is happening, she says. So she had the 5 siblings. So there were 2 sisters, Kelly and Yvette. And then the names, not all the names were released because it was so bad, but those were the 2 that I found. And then their brother, Kristy, and along with 2 younger siblings. Her siblings were pumped. They were like, oh my gosh, you're going to get married. That's Eric, because obviously he didn't show that side to the family. So she said, why don't you come celebrate with us during the Christmas holiday? Like, come see us in London, because they were up in Paris. So he called her.
You were like,
well, because I just said that out loud. Like, I just said that. So he called her parents. Eric called Magali's parents, like Pierre and Jacqueline, like mom and dad. Like they loved him, even though he was a shithead. And it's Christmassy time, late December, and they're all having the best time until they weren't. Like, the kids go up there. The parents don't go with them. Just the kids go. They're having a great time. Then out of nowhere, Eric and Magali accuse them of being witches and flip their shit. Like, out of nowhere. They're like, oh, this is fun. You guys are going to get married. And he's like, you guys came to kill us. And they're like, what the fuck? Because they weren't raised to believe that. They weren't raised in that. The kids didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Only Magali did, because he had beat it into her head. Like, he had taught her about all that Kindoki. Yeah. Could you imagine?
No. I don't even know what the fuck I'd be like.
I'd be like, shut up. Like,
I'd be like, can you stop being dumb? But think from the other perspective of, could you imagine being him that literally looks at them as like, you're here to kill me.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine looking at anyone being like, you're here to kill me.
And
unless
really
they like
believing it.
picked me up off the side of the street and I was hitchhiking and it was a fucking yellow beetle thing.
Yellow bug beetle.
A bug beetle.
What
are those called? Was it a bug?
Beetles.
Is it a bug or is it a beetle?
Volkswagen bug beetle.
Oh my God, I'm going to hit you in the face. Today's
No,
the day.
they were nicknamed bugs, but they called them beetles.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so then Eric and Magdalene are yelling at him like, you guys are possessed, you're trying to practice witchcraft on us. And the kids are like, what are you talking about? And Eric and Magdalene made the kids go into something called a prayer marathon, which like
This sounds like a nightmare to me.
like to pray the witch away or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, so they were starved, they were not given any water, and if they stopped praying at all, they were badly beaten. And by the way,
What the
like
fuck?
the people that believe that Kindoki was real, they also said that the possessed children couldn't feel the pain. So they were like, no, they don't feel it. That's the demon and the witchcraft in them. So they didn't think that they could feel any of it. So they just literally wailed on them, like bad.
I am really upset by this.
Oh, it gets worse.
Great.
Yeah, Eric made at least one of the kids jump out of a window to make sure they couldn't fly. Now, when I saw the video from the newscast, they were on the 8th floor. So that child survived. So I'm assuming that it wasn't the 8th floor, but still jump out of a window. Like, anyway, he also made one of the 11-year-olds eat a light bulb. First of all, how the fuck do you even think that? Why? Eat a fucking light bulb.
Oh my God.
So these kids are like begging and pleading with them, and it's her fucking sister too. Like, you know, and after a few days of this crazy shit.
So her and her husband abuse her little
siblings. Mm-hmm. They ranged in age from like 20 to like 5. Like,
okay.
Young. Yeah. So then they're like, what are we supposed to do? Like their parents are 6 hours away in Paris and they're down in London. Like what are they supposed to do? So they're like, maybe we should just say that we are. Like we're practicing, we are witches. Let's try that. Shockingly, that worked. For all of them except for 15-year-old Kristy. Now, like I said, during their fake confessions, one of the exorcisms, aka when Eric was beating the fuck out of the kids, Kristy was hurt so badly that he accidentally wet his pants, like because he couldn't control himself.
Well, I wonder why.
Right? But remember, that's a proof of possession.
I'm gonna punch someone.
Yeah, Kristy knew that this would set him off, and he tried to hide his clothes, but Eric found him, and he was like, "I knew it. This proves it." And so he became the sole target because of that.
Oh my God.
He forced his other siblings to beat them too. Now, yeah, and
dude, you cannot force me to beat someone at 20 years old.
After a few days of
Oh yeah, but those are only days. Like we're not talking like
no food,
like
no water.
6 months of mind. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
3 days and you want me to beat my sister? No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that.
So crazy.
That's great. Brother, sorry, but I have a sister. That's why I said sister.
Yeah.
I am following that Kristy is a guy.
Now here it's gonna go even farther downhill, so
great.
Yeah. Eric and Magdalene made the other siblings hold him down while they smashed huge bathroom tiles on his back and his head. And they're like, I saw the video. They're huge. They're like 2
What
by
video
2.
are you seeing?
Like the newscast from that Channel 4.
I was like, did they record it?
No, there's a newscast on Channel 4 on YouTube from the UK that shows the apartment scene and the aftermath.
I hate this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. They took his hands and they smashed both of them with a hammer. They knocked his teeth out. They smashed his throat and shattered his limbs with a metal rod. They cut him with a knife literally all over his body. They even twisted a part of his ear off with pliers. I mean,
how do you even
all
do that?
Of this is terrible.
How old is he? Sorry.
15.
Oh.
And it's his sister. Like his sister was there. Okay, Kristy had over 130 separate injuries for over that 3.5 day period.
Oh my god.
of his sister and his brother-in-law.
And the siblings were there when that was happening. See, so it's like,
Yeah.
how many people could have stopped this?
I don't know. I mean,
I understand a
being
5-year-old
so
wasn't going to be able to stop this. The two
traumatized.
people who were going to be able to stop it was the 20-year-old and homegirl and her dude.
I mean, they might. I don't know. I don't want to victim
How
blame.
old
I
was
just feel
she?
like they might be scared though. How she was like in her late 20s. They were both in their late 20s at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never victim
Yeah,
blaming. What I'm saying is, how could it have stopped in the moment that it stopped?
Oh yeah. I had
So
that
if it was a
question, too.
20-year-old up against a 29-year-old, but it's just one, I would think you'd be like,
And a big football player fiance that you've seen try to
I
like
know.
beat the fuck out of your brother too, and you.
what-
It'd be hard to.
other weapons in the house are for. I don't know. And I definitely don't want to come off like I'm, but it's just
Yeah.
like 6 people up against technically 1.
Yeah.
And it's a sister.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like doing this to her siblings. It's unbelievable.
Apparently her sister, like Magali, was sitting there like, no, you guys are witches and you deserve it anyway. Like basically she was just sitting there like, like if she wasn't helping them, she didn't care at all. Yeah. So Kristy was like I said, 130 separate injuries over 3.5 days.
That's so
He
sad.
was so distraught that he started begging to die. He was in so much pain. And Eric was like, no. And he made the siblings clean up the blood, and it was literally everywhere. Like he made the siblings clean up Kristy's blood. It was on the walls, the floor, the ceiling. It was terrible. Now, remember that, like I said, they live in an apartment building. So Eric was blasting music to mask this. They did get a noise complaint from a neighbor, but the cops didn't go check it out.
I don't blame them. They're like loud music in an apartment.
Yeah, they were like, even if they just call or
Around the
knock on the door
holidays.
and say, turn it down. Like, I know, it just sucks to hear whenever
I've
you're
never
like,
had a cop show up to a noise complaint. Lots of security guards though.
Oh, I got in trouble
Never
in
got the
college
cops.
for that.
I did too. Actually, most of mine was out of college, but still, it was just security.
Yeah.
I didn't get like the pokey.
Oh, I did. Oof. Anyway.
Well, I bet you were doing other things.
No.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic imploring your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
Where we are right now.
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Okay. Oof. On Christmas Eve, Magali called Pierre and Jacqueline, her parents, and was like, hey, my brothers and sisters are witches, and so are you, Dad? Like, get them out of my house. And then Eric grabbed the phone.
What the fucking fuck?
Yeah. Eric grabbed the phone and was like, hey, you need to come get Kristy because he's possessed and I'm going to kill him because he wants to kill me. And then Kristy's in the background and he's so monotone and beat down that he goes, Dad, he's going to kill me if you don't come get me. And then they hang the phone up. They're 6 hours away and they get this phone call, not knowing.
With all of their kids.
Yeah, not
Oh my
knowing
gosh.
on Christmas Eve. So at first the dad's like, when Eric gets on the phone, his dad, who adores his future son or his son-in-law, he's like, okay, so there's no way he could do it. But then he hears his son and he's like, oh my God, like this isn't some weird fucked up joke. Like this is for real. And they'd spoken to the kids a few times, but they were so scared that they didn't come out and say anything because they were obviously being watched when they were on the phone.
Of course.
Yeah.
What year was this?
This was 2010. You would think this was a long time ago.
No.
Yeah. Like
I'm not too shocked, but I was trying to see.
at least when I first heard it, I was like, that's got to be before I figured out when she was born. I was like, you think it would be like the 80s or Satanic Panic or something, not in the 2000s. I don't know. Just weird. It was a weird thought for me.
Everyone's weird.
That is true. Now, like I said, they freaked the fuck out the more that they listened to them talk when they were on the phone. And they were 6 hours away, so they were trying to scramble to get a rental car. Didn't have one. It was Christmas Eve, and it was late. So
They didn't have a car?
No. So,
Ugh.
yeah. So they were like, they had to scramble to find a car. And as soon as Eric hung up the phone with them, he had the kids huddle in the bathroom. He put them in the bathtub and used the shower head to hose them down with ice cold water to try to cleanse them, because that was part of the Kindoki exorcisms, was ice cold water.
Okay, this
Waterboarding.
Kindoki bullshit. What the fuck is this? Who, like, how much have you looked at, like, do we know where it originated?
I think in the DRC, but I don't know for sure. I didn't look into it as much.
Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand
There's like Nigerian priests and stuff that are involved that Eric reached out to later in life to talk about it and stuff, but I didn't dive too far into it. So, yeah.
I'm so confused by that and
Me too.
how
it originated, how it evolved over the years, and how it got to this.
like, how?
I don't know.
That's so crazy. Okay.
It is. Yeah. So he was hosing down the kids to try to cleanse them, and he made Kristy lay down in there because that was the one that he targeted, and he made the rest of the kids get out and go stand soaking wet in the living room. While Kristy was being hosed down, he sadly succumbed to all his injuries, and he sank below the water. And Eric pulled Kristy from the water and called the police for an ambulance. Like, you stupid, then he called.
It doesn't matter. Now you're going to jail.
Right.
Like, you literally just tortured someone for 4 days.
Yeah.
I'm more flabbergasted that he even called the ambulance. Like, I'm blown away by that. Blown away by it.
Yeah. When help arrived, the other kids were standing there in the living room soaking wet, obviously hysterical and freezing. And they were surrounded. They didn't even try to hide anything. The blood, the hammers, the knife block, bloody towels. There was a mop that had blood all over it. Was all just out. And these kids that had injuries, it was all out.
They were just like, here's my torture zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here are the victims. I killed one.
Yeah. And the kids had the injuries too from all that shit. And then their brother was unconscious on the bathroom floor. So like they rushed him.
Could they even fucking give him mouth to mouth with all his injuries? Like, if you just realize like the broken.
It was bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They rushed him to the hospital, but at 8 p.m. on Christmas Day, Kristy Bamu was pronounced dead. Now, Magdalene and Eric were obviously arrested and charged with murder and 2 counts of actual bodily harm. This is going to make me mad. Eric pled guilty to the bodily harm part on, quote, on the grounds of diminished responsibility caused by brain damage. Just wanted to say that. All of a sudden, he just has brain damage. Now, his lawyers are like, wait, no, he has lesions on his brain and had proof of that. You know, he's a football coach. He had football players. But then again, there are athletes all the time who have had injuries that don't do this shit.
It depends, though. They have that whole concept of like the brain tumors that push against certain parts of your cerebral cortex that then make you become a pedophile.
Yeah.
That's one of the weirdest ones I've ever heard of, is like that these, like, either a lesion or a tumor can then change your personality 100%.
In his case, it's different though, because
his is bullshit.
No, yeah, true. But like, because he was 7 whenever he started learning about this shit. So like, you didn't play football you didn't play football when I mean, maybe, but I doubt he's out there getting concussions as a linebacker when you're 7.
No,
like,
of
that,
course not.
The
whole thing is bullshit.
Thank you. Yeah.
But I like, firstly, it's bullshit. But secondly, I was like, that's the same thing as all these motherfuckers who do the like terrible shit. And then they're like, insanity.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I blacked out. I don't remember.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I didn't do that. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. You know what?
Yeah. No.
That solved. Mystery solved.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened.
I blacked out.
Yeah. So his lawyer said that, and you know, the judge was like, oh yeah, you're cute, but we're going to trial, so shut up. It's like, no. Now what do you think Magdalene said? Take a wild guess of what she said.
She was a victim.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't. He made her do it. She didn't.
Did she realize that all of her other siblings survived, and that they were there too?
She didn't realize that her 20-year-old sister, Kelly, was gonna say "fuck you" and take the stand against her.
I would hope Kelly would be like,
yeah.
Oh, and I don't think Kelly's a female.
Mm-hmm.
Got very confused with Kristy.
Yeah.
So I double check. Okay, 100%. I revoke what I said, because a 20-year-old female up against NFL star, whoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. I don't know why. I was just hoping it was, I don't know what I hoped.
Yeah, and Kelly was like, I mean, we started off having a great time, and then they brought up Kindoki, and then they became obsessed with it, and it was unbearable. And Eric and Magali were saying, like, they'd come there to kill them. Like, the kids, they just flipped the switch, and they were like, no, you came here to kill us. And they're like, well, no, we came for Christmas, you fucking assholes.
So weird.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Like,
Where the fuck did you find this story?
But I tripped and fell. I literally Googled Christmas true crime stories. And then it was, I don't know if it was Reddit.
This is a hot cup of cocoa.
Yeah, and there's not a ton on it. There is and there isn't. Like, it's weird. It's weird.
I just realized my shirt wasn't being highlighted.
Oh, yeah. Here, can you hear that? Okay. All right. Now, when Kristy was begging for forgiveness and for his life, his sister didn't react or do jack shit. So, like I said earlier, she said, you deserve it. So she can't say he forced her to do it when you didn't do anything at all or try and you helped him. The prosecutors had another star witness up their sleeves, Naomi Alonga. Naomi was 19 years old when her and her boyfriend went to live with Eric and Magali. Eric saw Naomi biting her nails, and he's like, oh, this bitch is a witch.
Why can't we? You know what? Okay, here is what is up my fucking craw. How about you be called a witch if you see me flying on a broom at night? Not fucking chewing on my nails.
Yeah, watch me make this fucking saucer float. Like, not,
right?
like
watch me fucking sit here and do a voodoo doll and hurt your fucking spleen. Like, give me some real shit.
Yeah.
Over here chewing on your nails.
Yeah.
Dude, I chew on those all the time, but I am a witch.
That's right. Now,
I'm not. The thing where you're like, oh, people will be weird.
Eric made Magali throw away anything that Naomi had touched when she was there. So, like, her clothes, dishes, towels, anything that Naomi had touched in their apartment, he made her throw away. And they did that 3-day starvation prayer marathon bullshit. And she apparently had really long, beautiful hair, and they made her cut it all off. Because, witch locks, I don't know.
They're like, oh my God, your hair is so luxurious.
Yeah, it'd be like if I touched this cup and you're like, luxurious? Luxurious?
I feel like...
What's luxurious?
I can't get over
A lap of luxurious. What do you mean?
There's another word I'm looking for, but it's not luxurious.
Oh, that's
lustrous. Isn't that's a word on the back of a fucking shampoo bottle, right?
I don't spend much time reading back there.
I don't know. I like to read packaging. I hate everything, Carrie.
Where to go from here?
I don't know.
Just read the back of shampoo bottles. I just get in and get out. Why are you in there reading stuff?
I don't know. In the shower. In the bath? You don't read the back?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't take baths.
No, I want to sit in my own filth.
I hate that you say that every time I take a bath when it's literally fucking self-care. And you're always like, I don't want to sit in my own filth. Well, I'm not. Number one, I'm not fucking filthy. I'm not playing a double header on a hot July day, and then just hopping in there and just having dirty water.
Well, you have some sort of filth on your person before you take it. You don't take a shower then get in the bath.
Yeah, but I take a shower after the bath.
But you're sitting in the puddle before. Okay, you're gonna get mad at me.
I am actually gonna get mad at you. Yes.
I don't think you're dirty. You're very clean.
I do not care if you think I'm dirty. It's the fact that you think you sit in a hot tub, then you're sitting in everyone else's filth.
That's chlorine.
Oh my God. I'm going to stop. Carry on with your story.
Okay.
And I'm going to snap you every fucking time I take a fucking bath. Yeah, sexy snaps. I'm going to show you pictures of my feet and little suds.
Feet.
Of a little, like I'm like a little thirst trap. Like, I'm like, look at me. I'm in the bathtub. Miss you.
Then I'll screenshot it and sell it online.
Oh my God.
Where was I at? Here we go.
Okay.
Cut off her hair. And thank you. Prayer marathon. Cut hair off. Double header. Okay. Here we go. Now, somehow Naomi called her mom, which first of all, where'd her boyfriend go?
Yeah.
But she called her mom and she's like, get me out of here. They think I'm a witch. So
weird.
I know. So her mom got her out somehow. She escaped. This trial lasted 8 weeks, and the things that the jury had to say and hear, obviously, like I just scratched the surface of what they had to do for 8 weeks of this, hearing this. It was so bad that the judge said that the jury never has to serve jury duty ever again in their whole life. Like, because it was that scarring for them. Like, it was that bad.
They probably like freaking... They have those little things you can go to afterwards. They all get to go to therapy.
They probably had to. I mean, fuck. If it's
one of
that
the stories I did, they all had to go to therapy after.
I mean, just watching that one
anytime
news clip.
Kids,
like,
usually it's anytime with kids.
Yeah.
Like, because it's so unwarranted.
Yeah.
It's never okay in any capacity. But when you're doing it to someone who truly cannot.
No.
And at 15, like, yes, I understand that's a young adult for any 15-year-olds who are getting shitty over there listening to this podcast, which maybe you should or shouldn't be listening
Ask
to.
your mom. No, yeah. But especially this kid, like these kids were good kids, especially Kristy.
It was Christmas.
And Kristy was like a role model. He took care of his siblings. He helped his dad out with the furniture store. Like,
it was Christmas. He was going to visit his sister who was about to get married.
And they were happy for
her.
Yeah, it was
so sad.
Okay. On March 5th, 2012, Eric and Magali both were thankfully found guilty and got life in prison. Magali got a minimum of 25 years served, and Eric got 30, which shocked me because they have a chance to get out because they were young. So they'll be in their 60s.
I just don't.
It wasn't in the U.S. If it was the U.S., they were probably, if they were in a death penalty state, they would be fucked.
If there's proven fact, like without a doubt, we're not like, we are talking without a doubt. We know for a fact you killed this person.
Yeah.
Why do you ever fucking get out of jail?
And there's a pattern. Like, if Naomi hadn't have got out,
right?
Who knows what they would have done to her?
It's obviously a concrete belief.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand that either. That part kind of
rattled
my cage.
It's like being a vampire. Like being like, I believe I am a vampire. Yeah. I must drink human blood. So I'm going to continue to drink human blood. I killed this person. I drank their blood.
Isolate.
And now I'm in jail.
I need just to isolate that phrase if you say that.
But you know what I mean?
No,
it's like, I like, if it's a true firm belief in me, then I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
And if that's his belief.
Yeah. For his in-laws too. Like, anyway, we'll just leave that right there because
I just don't see why they get out. You shouldn't fucking get out because you're also 30. I'm sorry, like late 20s. It's one thing if you were 16 and you believed in Slender Man and you got all weird and you started being all emo and you painted your nails black and then you tried to kill your friend, which we all know fucking happened.
Yeah.
You were 16, 15, 14, whatever the younger ages are where your brain hasn't fully developed, bitch, you are old enough to know.
Oh, yeah.
That you shouldn't murder your brother. I'm gonna fucking write them a mean, hateful letter. Their hatefulness flew into my eye. I got something in my eye.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Their hatefulness flew into my eye.
It's right there in my eye.
Did you get it?
We'll see.
Well, you'll see. I can't see. You'll tell me.
Everything's fine.
You just want an excuse to wink at me. Okay. Oh, by the way, Magali was trying to say that she was forced to do this and never once in court said she was sorry or showed any remorse at all. So like even if she was brainwashed, bare minimum, she could have been like, I'm sorry.
So sad I killed my brother.
I'm sorry my brother's dead. I'm sorry that I beat the fuck out of my siblings. But she never once said she was sorry.
I was so afraid of my life and I just didn't know what to do because I thought it would only get worse.
No, she even said, oh, I have brain damage too. Like, bitch, you didn't play football. What are you talking about? I mean, he beat her, but still, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so I watched another video and it was of the dad of Pierre doing an interview and it was gut-wrenching. And here's a statement that he wrote to be read at the trial. And this is just part of it. Kristy died in unimaginable circumstances at the hands of people who he loved and trusted. Christmas, a festival of joy, and Jacqueline's birthday. Yeah, the mom's birthday. Yeah. Will always be scarred by these terrible events. And it goes on for a little while to talk about how he and Eric were even going to open up, like him and the guy who murdered his son were going to open up a restaurant in London to leave a legacy for their family. Like,
how heart-wrenching.
How hurt, yeah. Like, and how hurt he was because he was like, my daughter didn't even do anything. Like, so he basically like looked at Eric as a son, was going to go into business with him. Kristy was going to take over the furniture business with him.
He just lost his whole family.
And and then
this
they have
beautiful
to be,
future they thought they were going to have.
Yeah, and they have to stay strong for the other kids. Like he said, and he goes, like I teared up when I heard the whole thing, like because they show him talking too, and he was saying that how they had to mourn in silence in the privacy of their room because they didn't want their kids to see.
Well, their kids are traumatized.
Yep.
They just had the worst things happen to them, and now they're traumatized. And now they lost their brother. They lost their sister. They lost their expected father, like brother-in-law.
Yeah,
all of this shit.
Like the one that was 5, and then the other girl too. Like she was 11 and was forced to eat a light bulb, and then watched her brother die. Like what the? Ugh,
how horrible.
Anyway, this was the awful story of the murder of Kristy Bamu and the torture of the Bamu children.
That's so wild.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that ever.
Me either.
And it's awful. And
I've never heard of the Kindoki.
Sudoku.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I'd never heard of any of that.
I'm gonna guess it's because the good Lord isn't spreading the word of that. Like,
right?
I guess that we've never heard of it because it's not something normal. I don't know. I need to know more about that.
I know. After I saw the newscast and the video with like the crime scene photos and stuff, like if y'all want to look at it, you can, but it's like burned in my brain. Like the
Well, we usually include those on the socials, right? Or is this one you're like, oh, probably not this time?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's certain ones I try to keep off too.
Probably not going to do it because they showed it on the news in the UK, and I don't think that they would show it over here.
Oh, we would 100% show it over here?
You think so?
Yes,
yeah,
without a doubt.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But it's different when you're choosing to watch the news and they're talking about the story and you can turn it off.
Yeah.
It's different to me on social media if you follow us and you're just scrolling and then you're assaulted.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I feel differently about our Facebook page specifically.
Yeah.
It's like you could follow us and not want to necessarily see that.
Yeah.
I struggled with one of the ones where it was that photo of someone being electrocuted but it looked drawn, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did.
The newspaper article. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Man. Yeah, that one was pretty rough.
That's very sad.
With you talking about being assaulted, I just thought about Dr. Pimple Popper because now you have to listen because you don't get assaulted by it. Even if you follow that page, you have to push the button because it's like
they had to stop it.
Well, it's like
because
content.
It's hateful.
It's hateful.
It's fucking hateful.
Popping zits is hateful.
That is hateful.
I know
that shit is
grosses me out so bad.
Oh. When we first started being friends and you realized I hate it and then you'd randomly just walk up to me and show me it and I was like,
I'm a treat.
You are hateful.
I'm a treat.
No.
I know. I do it to you and Will too. If he's running his mouth, I'll just pull one up and show
And
it.
Travis is fine with it.
Yeah.
And I want to vomit.
You get mad because I asked if you had a zit one day and I asked if
I'm going to punch you right now even talking about it.
I asked you, you literally put your fist up.
Jay has come downstairs before, my stepson, and was like, hey, I have a pimple on my back I can't get. And I'm like, I'm going to leave. And I like just walked away. I cannot. And he knows it. He goes, oh, you're one of those? I was like, I'll throw up on your back. I will throw up on your back.
You got real mad the first time. That's how I figured it out because you said, I think I have a pimple on my back. I was like, let me get it. And you looked at me. The look
it's
you
the
gave
same thing
me.
Whenever you're like, you're peeling and you peel something off my, oh my God.
I know.
You're touching my flat. I don't even want to. I'll go in the shower and loofah myself to death.
Or in the bath.
I can barely. I would never. Oh.
That's called a callback.
I don't care for your sass.
Don't get mad.
Just get sassy. Thank you guys.
We love you. Bye.
We love you. Oh, wait, hold on. We're bouncing off so fast.
Oh, I thought that was a good segue.
It was absolutely perfect.
Thank
but I
you.
feel like we didn't get to wrap up too much.
Okay.
So number 1,
yes.
Don't forget we love Jess and Drew.
Oh.
Number 2, don't forget to check out our merch store.
Yes.
Mouthy merch, always important.
Yes.
Like, rate, review. Don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Okay, we love you. Bye.
That was
the smoothest ever.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project.
Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, A Couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I bet that